If you're a movie guy like myself, then you've definitely seen the film Die Hard.
Drop it, dickhead.
Mr. McClane.
Most fans take Die Hard at face value, watching it come Christmas time as an action-packed, keep you on the edge of your seat type film, starring one hunk of a lead in Bruce Willis. They never tend to dive deeper into the film's cultural significance, but they should, because it's not just about the explosions and gunfights, but about the creation, or at least the popularity, of a never-seen-before subgenre of film. A never-seen-before subgenre of film? That's impossible, says the 1988 Star Wars nerd in the back of the room. Well, maybe this would be easier if I just, started at the beginning. Today, on the How Did Show, how did Die Hard create a brand new movie genre? Die Hard is a 1988 action classic directed by John McTiernan. The film stars Bruce Willis as John McClane, an NYPD officer who finds himself battling terrorists in a Los Angeles skyscraper on Christmas Eve.
Ho, ho, ho.
The film's blend of intense action, intense romance, and intense suspense created a beloved viewing experience for audiences of all kinds. But what made Die Hard so different from action movies that came before it? And what is this new genre that it created? Look no further than our main character, John McClane, and his at the time unheard of story within the Die Hard film.
Come out to the coast, we'll get together, have a few laughs.
The character of McClane strayed away from the typical action movie characters of his era. You know, the invincible, muscle-packing, killer machine protagonist types that we've seen hundreds of times. Yes, McClane may be a cop.
It's okay, I'm a cop.
And a good one at that, but at the same time he's just a guy. This crucial detail created the regular guy becomes the unlikely hero trait that is now ever so popular. It makes McClane relatable and admirable at the same time. This puts him on a different level to audiences compared to those other notable action stars of his time.
Thanks for the advice.
The ordinary man becomes the accidental savior of a do-or-die situation with the lives of everybody around him placed solely on his shoulders. Often unwilling,
But all things being equal, I'd rather be in Philadelphia.
or too scared at first,
Oh, John, what the fuck are you doing?
he fights through the nearly impossible, whether it's to save somebody he loves, defeat somebody he despises, or both. Sounds familiar? That's because this classic film synopsis is familiar. It's everywhere. This storyline has been copied and pasted throughout Hollywood hundreds, if not thousands of times since the release of Die Hard. Don't believe me? Well then, let's play a little game I like to call the Die Hard In Game. Die Hard in the White House. Die Hard in a hockey rink. Die Hard on a train. Die Hard on a plane. Die Hard where the planes take off. Die Hard in a school. Die Hard on a bus. Die Hard in the mall. They even made Die Hard at a damn ski resort, which I have to say is pretty awesome. Our honorable mention, or should I say mentions, of the night are all the Die Hard films that followed the 1988 OG. These films all follow the same storyline, starting with the protagonist as being the ordinary man turned accidental savior. But what else do they have in common? What else do they take from the breakthrough of cinema that is Die Hard? Well, remember that blend of intensity I mentioned before? The action, the romance, the suspense? Yeah, those all carry over as well. So for a film to fall under this unnamed Die Hard movie genre, they have to follow Die Hard's key plot points and characteristics. Of course our main character comes first, our protagonist. Like I said before, this is just a regular, ordinary guy. He is equipped with all the traits needed to win over an audience such as great looks, a respectable character, and Hall of Fame worthy one-liners.
Welcome to the party, pal!
Our protagonist in these types of films usually has a friend or two. kind of like a sidekick. These characters play important plot roles, guiding our protagonist in the right direction morally and offering them a much needed hand when it comes to the enemy.
You got it.
Speaking of the enemy, next comes our typical villain of these films, our antagonist. These guys are a bit more unrealistic. They come in and break the ordinary world of our main character, forcing them to transform from citizen to that unlikely hero figure they become. These guys play the exact opposite role for the audience. They're created to be hated, often going against everything that is morally right. They will stop at nothing to get their way, even if this means hurting innocent people, or even worse, the audience's favorite characters. But what drives our main character? Why does he decide to save the world? Well, often in these stories, there is some kind of personal element for the protagonist. Whether it is a romantic interest, a loved one, or a family member caught in the crossfire, they are there, in the middle of this chaotic event. This personal element almost always forces our guy to come in and save the day. This element also adds to the already existing suspense between the protagonist and the antagonist. This is highlighted in one of my favorite parts of the Die Hard film, when our antagonist Hans finally finds out that he's had John McClane's wife Holly as a hostage the entire time.
Mrs. McClane. Honors to make your acquaintance.
Some other characteristics of these films include the following: a funny side character for our audience to gain comedic relief from, an everyday supposed to be secure location turned into a battlefield, a team of bad guys defending the main antagonist until they're all defeated one by one, and then it's our protagonist versus our antagonist in the final face-off. And lastly, classic catchphrases that are often the most memorable part of the entire film.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
An ordinary guy who makes for a relatable and lovable protagonist, an evil villain equipped with powers that seem unbeatable and even unrealistic, and a personal tie or interest for our protagonist, like a love interest or a family member. Yep, just take that and add a whole bunch of fight scenes, explosions, gunfire, and death, and there you have it. You have made a Die Hard film. Now, you might think I'm bashing these types of movies, but in reality, I'm praising them, with the OG Die Hard receiving the most praise of them all. Die Hard revolutionized the action genre and inspired countless of films by introducing a new type of hero and plot structure.
Do a Die Hard.
What does that mean?
Sneak around, use air vents. You've never seen Die Hard?
I'm 17. No, I've never seen Die Hard.
Well, neither did the guy in Die Hard.
Before Die Hard, action movies often featured these nearly invincible, larger-than-life protagonists. Now, although these guys are cool too, there's just something about watching someone like myself save the day that makes a movie so damn entertaining. You know, it kinda makes me feel like that even I could one day save the day from a world-threatening enemy. Yeah, no, I'm kidding. But I tried. All jokes aside, Die Hard changed the action movie making formula. This shift in Hollywood influenced all the movies shown throughout this video, and hundreds of others. They all fall under this movie genre that Die Hard created. Now, if there was only a proper name for this genre, so that Die Hard could get the respect it deserves, I think it's only fair to name this genre after the man himself. Let's call it McClane. So, next time somebody tells you Die Hard is their favorite Christmas movie, make sure you hit them with some insider knowledge on why Die Hard is not only so popular, but awesome and legendary. I hope you guys enjoyed and thank you for watching. See you all next time for another episode of The How Did Show.